Alright legends, welcome back to the HamSlice channel. Strap in, because today is the best campaign in Call of Duty history. Well, the remake of it. But it's just nearly as good. Stick around and you'll see me single-handedly reduce the military budget, get double-crossed by a donkey, attempt the world's worst helicopter exit, and perform helmet checks. I'll also try a noob tube tribute and a new nickname, the Ankle Biter. If you want explosions, terrible tactics, and the single most questionable decision making in modern military history, you're in the right place. Our story kicks off with Mission 1, Strike. A simple assassination. I, playing as Ghost, get the most perfect shot on General Gorbrani. But I'm not here for perfect shots. I'm here for chaos. So instead of aiming for the target, I decide to just admire the Russian convoy. They have some very nice trucks. I just wait long enough for Gorbrani to finish his handshake and start walking away. A moving target is much more sporting, don't you think? I guess there really is no worry when you send a Predator missile. After I finally, reluctantly, guide a missile into the group, which I'll tell you gave me a lot of time to reconsider. After all, I crashed about 4 missiles before one landed. I am starting to realise why the military budgets are so high. Anyway, we deal with the aftermath, which conveniently is just turning around and heading back into the crevasse. Truly exciting stuff. Then we get to the kill or capture mission. The goal is to find Hassan. I start by tactically clearing a house with my CSGO expertise, as I am a gamer first, and I'm certain that the enemies have never seen such tactics on the battlefield. Because, well, it's plain stupid, but it is unpredictable, which does make it tactical. And then we relive my old Modern Warfare 2 days with the exceptionally sportsmanlike move of the noob tube. I feel slightly bad for techniques. Not. Anyway, I just want to ensure that my team is ready for the onslaught of enemies that will come from the fog. So I ready them the only way I know how. A tactical helmet check.
Kilo 01, you're cleared hot on anything forward of our position. To close approved.
Luckily, no one dies, so I guess all is good. During the fight, I do another helmet check because, well, I forgot if I'd already done one, and I just really wanted to make sure they would survive. You know, kinda like when you lock your car many times, just to be sure. I come up a building on the chase, and I am met with a wife standing over a body. She decides to pick up the gun, and then I perform some questionable acts of shoot first, and ask questions later. Turns out she had a weapon, so my actions were justified. So I quickly move on, as I'm not annoyed that she would try and kill me. I am an artist, and my medium is tactical incompetence. We finally make it to where Hassan is, and let's just say my genius shines through, as I decide to lay down and melee the enemy's legs. Not very effective, but it does work. My colleagues see this, and now my nickname is the Ankle Biter. But we end up winning the fight, and come to learn that they have American missiles. So we do the only logical thing and destroy them, because General Shepard says so. Seems kinda fishy, but I'm only saying this because I'm a Modern Warfare 2 veteran. Next up is Wet Work, a stealth mission in Amsterdam. The goal is to be a ghost, but the game wants me to be a submarine, which I do accomplish. I get a gun, and that means it's over for the rest of the enemies. You don't need to kill all the lurkers. But you know, I'm trying to take down an army, so each kill counts. Turns out it wasn't Hassan's guys, and it was just a friendly cartel. So I guess I'm probably going to hell. I make it to the boat, and we effectively clear the seamen, and conveniently receive a text from the bad guys about where and when the handoff is happening. And that is where we come to the shocking realization that we've been triple texted. This guy sucks at responding to messages, and clearly deserved what happened to him.
All clear. It's his phone.
So we cut to the handoff, and we need to be quiet, so I'm given a non-lethal injection thing, of which I use on more than one person. Not sure if the Geneva Conventions covers spreading diseases by utilising the same needle on multiple people. Anyway, to effectively set a distraction, I throw a grenade in a bin in an alley, and then proceed to shoot people in a busy street. Nothing quite says stealth like creating an active shooter situation. Anyway, we kidnap some guy and drive off, leaving the chaos behind. The campaign then takes us to the US-Mexico border for the mission Borderline, which is an accurate representation of immigration and shows how easily a wall can be countered by a ladder. Anyway, we make our way over the wall and begin chasing Hassan through the neighborhood. We're supposed to de-escalate the situation with some very nervous civilians. I figured the best way to de-escalate is by aiming my rifle directly at their faces. Alejandro says, "Easy, hermano." I think my way is more effective. We then come across local law enforcement, and I'm merely shot for holding a gun at their heads. I may have fired, but in my defense, it was shoot first, ask questions later. I then proceed to hold my extremely itchy trigger finger, and after, while sorting out bureaucracy, we are fired upon with a rocket launcher. Typical Tuesday. I fire back and eliminate all the enemies that failed to hit a standing target. I'm now realizing that the cartel is easily rivaled by a pair of border security agents. We breach the house and I'm captured by Hassan. And in true evil villain fashion, he tells me his plan and leaves me to be burned alive, which allows me to be rescued to forge a closer bond with my work colleague. This guy seems quite forgiving. After all his people I've killed, he decides to not execute me. The mission, Cartel Protection, kicks off with us storming a cartel hideout up in the Mexican mountains. Alejandro's barking orders, and I'm just trying to figure out how I ended up in another shootout, instead of at a nice, safe desk job editing thumbnails. We push through the compound, stacking bodies, because I'm trying to keep the cartel housekeepers employed. I'm truly a revolutionist. For a moment, it feels like we're in control, and then the Mexican army shows up. And not the friendly kind. These guys roll in like they've just been waiting to third party us. Suddenly, it's armies in front and on the side. Bullets are everywhere. And I'm wishing I brought a high-powered military drone. Alejandro yells, "Move down the mountain," so we start sliding downhill under fire. I'm shooting backwards, tripping over rocks, and I think I accidentally invented a new Olympic sport, downhill panic sprinting. I guess you could probably call it the cheese run. Halfway down, I swear I saw a donkey. Don't ask me what it was doing there. I figured the cartel trained it to carry ammo or tequila. I tried to mount it for a quick getaway, but the donkey probably joined the Mexican army. Traitor. Thinking back on it now, I just got hit in the head by a bullet. Anyway, we keep fighting, pushing down slope after slope, enemies coming from everywhere. My ammo's draining faster than my will to live, but somehow we keep moving. Finally, we dive into the river. Bullets are smacking the water. I'm paddling down the river whilst trying to shoot people on land. There clearly isn't a cartel gun safety course, as the first lesson would be to not shoot at water. But I digress, and the river smells like gun oil and regret. We are then met with the army perched up on a bridge ready to kill us. I then begin to say my goodbyes, then realise that I can't die, as I am the main character. So, out of nowhere, Graves sends a high-powered military drone that obliterates the cartel squad on the bridge. I knew I asked for the right thing. Now we move into close air. Shadow companies finally showing off their toys, and I've been handed the keys to an AC-130 gunship. That's right, the big flying death machine. I only needed like a 250 kill streak. That's efficiency. We're up in the sky, providing cover for Alejandro and his med on the ground. Graves is on the comms, talking like this is another Tuesday. Meanwhile, I'm juggling cannons, miniguns, and missiles, and trying my hardest not to just shoot buildings. Because, well, destruction is just cool. The orders are simple: keep the vaqueros alive, and turn the cartel into red mist. Easy enough. Every few seconds, Alejandro's squad calls for fire support. They're pinned down, trucks are moving in, and I get to paint targets with enough firepower to eviscerate your local Bunnings. The 105mm cannon hits, and the whole screen lights up. And I'm grinning from ear to ear, but here's the part they don't tell you. It's way too easy to get carried away. I may have, hypothetically, Leveled an entire street just to make sure one cartel member didn't get away. Alejandro wasn't impressed. He's on the ground dodging rubble while I'm upstairs testing the structural integrity of Mexico. To be fair, I don't envy his position. The mission rolls on, convoy after convoy of cartel troops trying to get through, and me raining hellfire on everything that moves. At one point, I swear I blew up the same truck 3 different times. Either they cloned it, or my accuracy report is going to need some creative editing. To be fair, I've gotten pretty good at lying in my post-mission reviews. By the end of it, Alejandro and his squad are intact. The cartel's been flattened, Shadow Company looks like heroes, and we have successfully captured Hassan, who is almost immediately released.
Now take him back and let him go.
Apparently we need actual evidence to detain people, not sure what that's about. So we cut him loose, and we think about how that was all for nothing, which actually makes me question why we were sent there to retrieve him in the first place. Anyway, no harm, no foul. Recon by fire kicks off on the Spanish coast. Price and Gaz are here for a proper stealth op, none of that run and gun cartel chaos. Our mission is to sneak in, scope out an enemy facility, and confirm whether Hassan's missiles are being smuggled through there. Price is calm, methodical, and experienced. Meanwhile, I'm lying prone in the grass, trying not to sneeze and blow our cover. This mission is about sniping. Price sets the tone, adjusts for distance, wind, and bullet drop. I nod like I understand the math, and then promptly miss the first shot. Eventually, I get the hang of it, dropping cartel guards silently, feels smooth, and the suppressed sniper rifle sounds like music, if your favourite song is Silent Body Drop. We crawl, shoot, crawl some more. Every patrol we take down has me sweating, because if one guy spots us, it's game over. Price reminds me, patience. I remind him that patience isn't my strongest skill, or one I even have to begin with. Still, the infiltration works. I slip inside the compound by first forcing out everyone with tear gas, because biological warfare is always a win. Things inevitably go loud, guards get suspicious, alarms start blaring, and suddenly stealth turns into survival. Price fires down at enemies from the hills, because he gets the easy job. I'm down in the action, mowing down enemies, while weighing up whether to swap out my superior firepower for a golden deagle.
A golden deagle.
We fight our way under a lighthouse, as apparently there's a port down there, and we find the schematics and what we're looking for. But then we witness Laswell get kidnapped on a boat offshore. I attempt to shoot her attackers with no regard for her safety. Luckily, I miss all the shots. So like that, the mission is both a success and failure. But we move on, because you can only control what you can control. Violence and timing isn't sanctioned. Shepard and Graves wants us to sit tight and keep our hands off Hassan's convoy. Price says screw that, Laswell's been captured, and we're not leaving her behind. We're going in whether Shepard likes it or not. It throws Price and Gaz straight into one of the loudest missions of the entire campaign. It's not loud in game, it's loud because I was constantly yelling at my screen, because what are those goddamn mines about? We start in a helicopter, I'm strapped in, trying not to think about how often I've been shot at in the last 24 hours. Price is calm as ever, scanning the highway below. The convoy stretches out ahead of us. Trucks, Humvees, and technicals. The whole Alcatar motor club out for a drive. The order comes through, jump. So I drop from the bird onto the convoy. Not by choice, but I was thrown from the helicopter and ended up upside down hanging by a rope, which caused a head rush, but in the end I'm incredibly lucky to have a head on my shoulders. The plot armor is strong with this one. I inevitably cut the rope and land on a moving truck. Maybe one day Red Bull will sponsor me for this trick. It's absolute chaos. Every vehicle's packed with fighters, RPGs fire across the road, and I'm hopping from car to car, clearing drivers, yanking doors open, and tossing bad guys onto the pavement. Halfway through, they try to box us in. Just when I'm bracing for the worst, Farah and her fighters show up. Their trucks cut through the convoy like it's nothing, guns blazing, and suddenly the road opens up again. I end up in the back of a truck with Price and get a grenade launcher. So I'm happy as I get to blow up all the vehicles chasing us, which is a change as we were chasing them for the whole first part of the mission. We push up to the lead vehicles and Price blows one out of the way. I climb up to the back SUV where Laswell is. Laswell's locked inside, surrounded by hostiles. I decide to shoot recklessly into the door to kill the enemies inside, but I guess I missed every shot, which really doesn't sound like me. Turns out she'd killed everyone inside, and she just walks out. I mean, she could have done that to begin with.